when I was fat, people let me know. People in my family, other people, even girlfriends at the time, they let me know. But now I feel no one is letting anyone know. Like people are
Right.
afraid to let their loved ones or others know, like, hey, listen, this is not healthy. Like this is not good. You
Right.
split all these genes. You can't. You're wheezing every time. I'm worried for you.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, and we discussed this how we are going to talk about this topic.
Yeah.
We talked about how the food and the nutrition system isn't great. We talk about how
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of pressures out there that push us to eating. So now I want to talk about with you, Becky, the fat acceptance movement.
Mm-hmm.
What enables us to continue this bad habit?
Yeah.
Because I feel these
So
days like it's not only people are afraid to talk about it for fear of being called fat phobic, whatever that means.
yeah.
It's being encouraged. It's being trendy.
yeah.
As a
Yeah.
person, I cringe when I see that. I'm not a health
Yeah.
professional. As a
Yeah.
person who's seeing all your training, all your personal beliefs, all the signs get thrown out the window,
Yeah.
how does it feel to see that movement happen and gain track?
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard it called the body positivity movement. And someone, you had asked me that question. Someone else had asked me that question as well. What do you think about that? And my response is it is good to love your body. I teach you in my health coaching program to love your body. It is good to love your body. You are not loving your body by eating yourself to death. You are not loving your body by gaining so much weight that you need to have hip or knee surgery, or you get diabetes, or you have high blood pressure, or you get a heart condition. That is not love for your body. So it's two different things. And yes, I too have felt rather frustrated. With people being all rah rah in terms of accepting obesity as, just loving your body. And, I guess I have to be careful with how I word stuff.
You
But,
can be careful. I'm not gonna be careful.
but it's not. I mean, that's what it comes down to is you are not loving your body by eating so much that you have to get joint replacement surgery, or you have to take medications because you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or you get the heart condition. So it's a bunch of some of it's a bunch of BS. That's what I'll say about that.
Yeah, I just don't know how it started because it feels like look, there was a point in our time, and I think you remember the time period as well as I do in like between
hmm
early 2000s, 2010, where a lot of supermodels just died because they didn't eat. Do you remember that time
Yeah,
period? Like every day, it was like a model who
yeah,
went super anorexic,
yeah,
and they died from anorexia.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
there was just this period of time where like America's top model, now they revamped their image, but like there was a period of time where every show, on every TV series, where like people who were just a regular weight, or even some women who were curvy, like
hmm
just curvy, were being
hmm
told they were like plus size,
right,
and that the
yeah,
beauty standard was like these girls with like they looked like Skeletor. And
yeah,
it's sad because a lot of young girls were made to die way earlier than a normal age because you had movies telling people this was beautiful. You had other models like Tyra Banks. She doesn't want to admit it, but Tyra Banks was on that skinny train,
yeah,
pushing these models to lose weight. You had society telling all these women they had to be skinny as hell. And then I'm
hmm
assuming like 2010 and the years prior was like the period of anorexia.
right,
So then after that, I think like there was a big movement to like be more body positive, curvy is
right,
not bad, gaining a
right,
few gaining a few pounds isn't that bad, having like a little plump here and there isn't that bad.
right.
But how did we take it so far from one extreme where you'll die if you don't gain weight to this other extreme where you are dying because you are gaining all this weight? From
I
like
think,
from your perspective,
yeah.
like what happened?
So I think it's our simplistic thinking, honestly. It's our inability to see the big picture, and it's extremist thinking. And this way of thinking sells headlines. This black and white thinking is really great at selling media, selling pictures, selling things like that. So yeah, I don't have a concise answer in terms of how we got here, in terms of, like celebrating obesity as loving your body. I just know that, just like starving yourself to death, eating yourself to death is just as bad. And neither one of them is worse than the other. So having someone who's anorexic, that's terrible as well. And so there's so much under the surface in terms of why someone has an eating disorder having to do with anorexia, or an eating disorder having to do with overeating. The behavior is their coping mechanism for what's happening underneath the surface. And so both of them are deadly, for sure. And so you have to look at what's the motivating factor behind why they're doing the behavior, as opposed to making an anorexic eat. That's actually not helpful, because you're taking their control away, and taking food away from an obese person, that's not helpful, when a lot of times they want to have boundaries and be validated and things like that.
It has to come from within, like they have to want it.
100%. 100%.
And the last thing I want to ask about the fat acceptance movement, do you feel it's on its way out the same way anorexia was?
I don't know. I guess time will tell, history will tell. Excuse me.
Saha.
I,
That's like a bless you in Arabic for coughs.
Thank you. I don't know, I just know history will tell. And ultimately we're going to realize that, just like celebrating the anorexic as the only way to be for a woman, just as that was destructive, celebrating someone being obese as that is what you should look like, that is also destructive. So I think we're going to look back and we're going to see how silly we are.
The hell, yeah, we can look back, not the people who've died already. I feel bad for them.